It was raining when we returned back from Stewart Island. I was with my party, me, Trapper, and Mosey. And they hitched a ride with me to Invercargill where they were staying. And so we go to Invercargill and it's raining and the weather is kind of turning on us, but that's okay. You know, we find some Nepalese diner, extreme rarity in New Zealand, but you know, they're serving momo, and we decided it was the right place for us because Trapper had recently been on an adventure in Nepal, and he was telling us all about it, and he was speaking with the lovely, you know, owners and wait staff, and yeah, and then I said goodbye to Trapper and Mosey, and then headed on my way, and it was raining and miserable, but as I came out of the town, you know, I was a little bit sad, you know, saying goodbye to my party and my fellow adventurers. And I headed on my way, you know. And then the sun came out, and suddenly I'm looking around, and the pastures, the fields are incredibly green, and suddenly the skies are blue. And in the distance, the far distance, are some mountains, and framing them are these lovely kind of white clouds, you know, those puffy white clouds that look almost animated. And you know what pops into my head? Zelda. Zelda. The Zelda soundtrack. That's what pops into my head. And so I put on the Zelda soundtrack, and it's the perfect soundtrack for that drive. I was transported, man. I was on such an adventure, you know. And I was having a blast. I was just in my imagination and in the moment at the same time, enjoying my trip, enjoying the adventure. Just now, I was sitting down there and kind of not sure what to do, just going where the road takes me. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking down at this river just down here, see? And I'm thinking, gosh, that looks awfully like the scene when Frodo and Sam, actually the whole fellowship are, you know, sailing down the river. And in fact, that very scene was filmed about 15 minutes that way. No, about half an hour that way. Maybe I should go visit it now. Maybe that's where I'm supposed to be heading. Of course it is. Anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, Lord of the Rings. So what do? I put on the Lord of the Rings soundtrack. And it's just the perfect soundtrack. And I've been listening to that on this little adventure. And now, just in filming this video, I've figured it out. I know where I've got to head. I've got to head to where that scene was filmed, that exact scene. Of course I do. And what am I going to do? I'm going to listen to the soundtrack, and it's going to guide me on the journey there. That's what I've got to do today. I was a little bit lost. I was just wandering out here trying to figure out where the road would take me, and I figured it out. So anyway, what's the lesson in all of this? Well, the lesson is that the right soundtrack for the adventure that you're on will just present itself in the right moment. You've got to be aware, you know, you've got to listen for it. But when it comes, don't just ignore it. Seize it. If you think, gosh, this place looks like Rohan, of course, go and chuck on the Rohan soundtrack. If you're thinking, gosh, this place reminds me of, I don't know, Skyrim or Oblivion, go and put on the Oblivion Skyrim soundtrack. This is literally one of the secrets to adventure, you know. Gosh, it's going to make you feel like you're on such an adventure. It's going to transport you to a kind of fantasy realm. It's going to make our world a fantasy adventure, you know. And you're going to feel like the main character, and you're going to be inspired. If you're an artist or a creative, this will give you a fount of new ideas. Oh, it's going to be great. I'm so excited for you. But of course, you have to know about these soundtracks to begin with, okay? So definitely look into these soundtracks. There's a great channel called Ambient Worlds that has all of your fantasy soundtracks that you could ever need, okay? So check out Ambient Worlds, and I'm gonna head on my adventure. I'm already a little bit lost. I'm in someone's property, so I better get out. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say, and good luck, and I'll see you.